Intuition liners are some of the most infamous liners in rollerblading. There's no way, as a rollerblader, you haven't ran into someone who has told you that these are the best liners ever made and they'll be the last ones you ever buy and you have to get them. And it's understandable why people have that reaction. It's a very adjustable liner with a bunch of changeable parts to customize it to fit. It's heat moldable to fit your foot good. It's made to downsize skates. Rollerbladers want to fit the smallest skates they possibly can, so people are going to love it just for that. But all these features come at a premium price. But this premium Intuition liner right here costing $220 US. That is more expensive than a wide range of complete aggressive setups that's ready to roll, nothing else needed. With this, you're just getting the liner. But are they actually worth that price? I'm going to tell you my experience with them and hopefully help you answer that question. So I was lucky enough to be given the Intuition premium liners as a gift for my birthday, and I only rode them in 99 skates. So if you don't know, the way you can adjust this is there's a heel pad that velcros on and off. There's additional cuff support that straps on here. It's like velcro the whole way up here behind the laces, and obviously the laces as well. The first thing I did when I put these in my skates was take the laces out, because holy shit, I cannot stand a liner that laces up, because there's enough laces on skates as it is. I don't want to add another layer. If it takes me that long to take my skates off, I don't care how much better it makes it feel. I'm not into it. So I took that out straight away and I left them stock other than that. First thing I noticed about them was it was very impressive how much this liner changed the feel of the 909s. Compared to the stock liner, there is so much more room in the shell when you have this liner in it. It feels bigger width-wise and length-wise. The whole skate feels completely different. And that's something I didn't even notice until I swapped back to the original stock them liners. These are so much more snug in that skate. It makes the 909 feel a lot more like an M12. You can feel every side of the skate on your foot. Your foot is kind of floating around in there. And it wasn't until I switched back to these that I noticed that when I was doing tricks and stuff and skating around, my foot was moving around a significant amount inside the liner, and the liner itself felt like it was moving inside the shell, which once I noticed, I couldn't unnotice, and it made me not like them as much. But before that, I didn't even notice. So, you know. Comfort-wise though, these are a comfortable liner. They're very low profile and it's got like quite a dense foam. It's like it's a unique feel. It's not the most incredibly comfortable liner you'll ever get, I don't think. Like, it's not soft and cushy, you know, but it's a comfortable liner. Nothing wrong with it there. There's something I can't unsee with it that one of the homies told me, is he described it as being like, you know that when cardboard gets old, it gets kind of soft and squishy, you know? It's like that, which is like, I can't unsee that now, but it's more comfortable than cardboard, but it's that same kind of dense, squishy vibe. The whole skate is heat moldable too, and I did notice it started to fit even better the more I skated it. So you can just break it in or you can heat mold it in the oven. I was sick of heat molding because I just came from the adapts that I've now heat molded like at least 50 times. I did notice that this one in particular, my right foot, the skate is like bunched like this. If you can see, there's like a crease in it. So I explained that really bad. I'm going to try again here. So that crease tells me that this line has been squished in the medium them 909. You're meant to be able to downsize with this, so that confuses me because there's no way I could fit this in a smaller shell. If it's already crunched in the shell I'm in now, you know, it almost seems like I need to get a smaller liner size. But this is my exact Mondo. It's a US 10.5. It's right for the skate that I'm in. And the creases and stuff, they don't bother me or anything. You don't feel them in the skate. It just concerned me when I take them out. It ultimately just left me wondering if the them Intuition liner fits the skate a bit better. I'm sure it does. Maybe it feels like you're moving around a bit less. But this doesn't feel super compatible to me. It completely changes the feel of that skate. And that's ultimately why I ended up switching back to the shitty stock them liner compared to this one, you know. One thing that I did really, really like about these though was the shock absorption. So I've had foot problems from shock absorption for years now. It's kind of like a permanent problem I have now. And I completely forgot about that issue while skating. While skating these liners, and all the shock absorption is this foam shock absorber here that sticks onto the bottom of the liner like this with Velcro. And I just completely, all my like shock absorption problems were gone. I no longer felt like I couldn't jump off things, and just landing off grinds and ledges, stuff that shouldn't hurt my feet, didn't hurt my feet. And I didn't realize that until I switched back to the original 99 liner and all those feelings came back. Now I'm actually using the shock absorber heel pad on these. I got some Velcro straps and I have it on here. And I have this along with a footprint insole on my 909s. And that's how I'm skating it. I haven't really been able to test out if that is the same kind of shock absorption feeling as the Intuition liner because my knee is fucked right now and I didn't try this till I got back from America. So I think this is a game changer when it comes to shock absorption. It also was very durable. I've been skating it for like a year now and it's held up much better than any other liner I've had ever, I think, whether that's premium or cheap. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's been bits of peeling off, but nothing that's actually going to break it, which is very impressive. The only piece of damage I could find is the cuff bolt started to like rub and rip through, and lucky it's the reinforced part, you know, so if you didn't have that, you might be actually doing real damage. But that's a good reason to like cover the inside of your cuff bolt. But I also think that I don't like about the look of these is that you can kind of see it here. There's like a crease. This is just from skating them, but there's like a crease outline of the cuff, which makes sense. But it looks hideous to me, man. You can see how much it's been rubbing. It just looks yuck. I don't know. I can't describe it. It's got a wrinkle. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the things that really bugged me though. The first one is that these are the most smelly liners I've had in my life. There's something about them that they make me sweat. They like don't absorb the sweat or something, or they don't absorb enough of it. They're kind of just always swimming. I'm telling you, swimming when I skate in them. And that leads them to also smelling so bad. And the worst part about it is it doesn't keep the smell in. The smell comes out of the skate. So I never want to like take the bus. I never want to like put my skates in the car. It has to be like in the boot or something if I go with someone. It makes me not want to use my skates as much. And it even led me to buy a shoe dryer, thinking maybe that'll help. And it does help, but it doesn't solve the problem. They're still horrendously bad compared to any other liner that I have. I don't really know why that is. One good thing though that counters that is the fact that you can actually machine wash these. Now, Intuition themselves does not advise this. I learned this from Wheel Scene. Shout out to the homie. I thought I better test this out for you guys, and it worked. They came out, they're like good as new, didn't do any damage to them, didn't change the fit at all, which is something that other liners can't do. Other liners I've tried that with, they get destroyed when you wash them, so don't try them. But it ultimately was kind of useless because literally like 1 or 2 sessions later, especially in summer, it's like I hadn't washed them at all. So what's the point, you know? And because I was trying to dry them out all the time, they were sitting in the sun, the black color of this liner actually turned brown, like that horrible brown that all like black clothing turns when it sits in the sun too long. Made my skates feel ugly. I didn't like it. I did actually dye them though in the washing machine, and it worked pretty well. They've gone back to like a nice black. So you can dye them too if you want to save it, which is good to know, I guess. The next thing I didn't really like about them was just the fact that they're such a tall liner. Like if you've seen this, this adds so much height to the 909, and I didn't notice that for a long time. It wasn't until I wore some different pants for skating that couldn't go over and hide the top of the skate that this was ruined for me, and I noticed how horrendous this liner is in the skate, and I just absolutely hate it. They were brown at the time too, so I don't know, I really maybe not like the skate. I made the skate feel big and clunky, like I wasn't in control. It's all just looks, but it made a big difference to me. And yeah, I do not like, it just doesn't need to be that tall. And I did try it without this cuff support, and it really needs it because it goes this far out of the skate. Like without that, it just feels like a big sock. The final nail in the coffin for these liners for me though is the fact that they are the squeakiest liners on the market that I know of anyway so far. And that's because if you see, this is a feature. They add all these like urethane or something on the bottom of the liner to stop it slipping around, right? But all that does is squeak inside the plastic boot. It just makes it squeak. And this especially bugged me because when the 909 is already a squeaky skate, but you can fix that if you put some wax around the cuff or around the cuff bolt. You know, I did that and the squeak was completely gone on my skates. I couldn't believe it. But then I got these liners and put them in, and the squeak was 10 times worse. And there's nothing you can do about it, dude. There's nothing I can do to get rid of this squeak. It's one of those things where once you hear it, you can't not see it anymore. So every time I'm like walking in my skates or doing a certain trick, and it's just that horrible boot squeaks, it just completely ruined this setup for me, essentially. The difference between the Intuition Premium and the Skate V2, the normal Intuition yellow liner that people have, is they added a thicker tongue. It's got like more resistance or something. I have no complaints about the tongue. It's been good. And they added individual sizes, which is good. Before it was just like small, medium, large or something, which is obviously a massive improvement once again. I think, I can't confirm this because I don't have the old liners, but I also think they added the rubber dots on this liner as well, which is what is causing the squeak. So if you had the old liners, they won't squeak. So it's like they made 3 steps forward, 1 massive leap back, in my opinion. Ultimately, my biggest warning to you if you're thinking about buying these liners is make sure you don't care about how squeaky your skates are and you don't care about how much they stink. I think if those 2 things don't matter to you, you won't be disappointed in these liners. These are good liners, but they're not life-changing to me. I'm not in the same bandwagon as all the people that say like there's no way they're could skate any other liner after this. I think it's a good product, but it's not 100% perfect for me, at least the Intuition Premium anyway. And at least at this stage. Maybe with some different skates, or maybe if I downsize or something, I'll change my mind about it. But at this stage, I'm not going to be skating this liner full time. But I am happy I'll have it. I'm going to hold on to it, and it's going to probably save me for some skates, that don't quite fit right. And I'm glad I'm going to have the option in the future, and I'm glad that I have a pair. And shout out to the homie who got it for me. You're the man. Like, looking back on my Mesmer review, if I had these liners then, I'd probably still be skating that skate, Now, do I think these are worth the price? I think they are. This is a quality product that if it is the right liner for you, it's not going to be the right liner for everyone, but if it is the right liner for you, it's going to be worth it. It's a liner that can outlast the skates it in. It's going to last you a good time. It's built to last. And I don't think it's overpriced. I think you're paying for what you get here. So hopefully that helped you out. Subscribe if you want more reviews like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know if anyone else has had bad experience with Intuitions. I feel like that's very, very rare. So let me know in the comments. Massive thank you to my patrons. Consider signing up if you want to help me keep making videos. It's the only way in this small niche of aggressive rollerblading that you can make videos like this is through crowdfunding. So if you want to sign up, that would mean the world to me. But anyway, have a good day and go for a skate.